I just scored myself a 2008 R.ovitt Diesel 700, and the best part about this deal, I only paid $600 for this thing. I already have a Diesel 700 sitting over here. Now, I bought this thing back this spring, and I paid $5,500 for it. This thing's in great shape. It runs real nice. It only has 1,400 miles on it, I believe. 1,450 miles, 270 hours. They're pretty noisy engines. It's a twin-cylinder, 686cc Lombardini diesel engine. Still very cold. Anyways, let's get back to the new one here, or old one. Now this is a 2008. The one I bought originally is a 2012. Now obviously I paid good money for the 2012. That thing runs great. This one, I don't know much about it yet. All I know is this thing sat for like 4 years. I haven't even heard this thing with a battery, but I heard that it clicks when you go to start it with the battery. It turns over here, I found out. So I know the engine's not locked up, but there still could be major problems with this. I don't know. $600 though, I don't care. To me, that's a steal. I've never seen one this cheap. You can tell just by all the mossy mold. It's definitely been sitting for a little while. This thing's in pretty good shape. Plastic piece here is broke a little bit, but the rest of it I believe is good. Seats got a little rip on top. Let's get this thing unloaded and we'll compare it to that. I'm going to steal the this one has no batteries in it right now. I'm going to steal the batteries out of that one because I don't have new ones on me, and we'll see if we can get this thing running. So you can see this one's missing a few plastics, the side panels and stuff. I have them all. They're all in the truck over here, so that's not a big deal. Really, these two machines are pretty much the same. That's a 12. This is an 08. You can see the sticker decal is a little bit different from that one to this one. Now, I don't know. Let's see. This one, 700 diesel here. I think this one was supposed to have it. And this one's got a sticker back here. This one probably was supposed to have that at the time. If you guys haven't seen these R.ovitt Diesel 700s before, they're kind of strange. They have an open alternator like a vehicle. This is a Lombardini Italian-built diesel engine, and it's used in a lot of mini excavators, some skid steers, stuff like that. It powers quite a few small commercial machines, so technically this engine should last many, many hours. Like this one right here's only got 270 hours on it, so really it should last a long, long time. I'm going to pull the batteries out of this, swap them in this, see what we can get. So we just got a wing nut on here we can pull off, and then we can remove our battery. So the price I paid for this thing, I'm expecting there to be some major problems, but I was hopeful, so maybe this thing will run today. But then again, even if it does run, doesn't mean there's not something wrong with the transmission, differentials, anything like that. Could be anything. Didn't get a whole lot of info on this. I bought it. This was a one-owner machine. However, somebody did buy this from the first owner, and he was going to part it out. I wanted to stop that and buy this thing so I could actually get it back together. And he agreed to sell it whole. I mean, I couldn't believe he said make an offer. You know, I just threw out a number. I said $500, not expecting him to take it. And he gave me a call and said, you know what, I don't really want to do 5. I'd feel a lot more comfortable at 6. $600. I'm headed to go get it. I'm in Island Pond, Vermont. I drove like 2 hours, a little over 2 hours to Peru, Maine to pick this thing up. And I mean, I'm happy as can be. This thing came with all the paperwork. It's even got the pre-delivery instructions for them to check everything off when they put it together. There's a factory recall on the front diff, I guess, with this. It's still open on this machine. I'm not sure if Cat would honor it or not, but we'll find out. This one actually came with the service manual for, this doesn't come with the machines, they must have bought it. Service manual for the Lombardini diesel engine. This is the LDW702 engine, so it's a smaller engine of the bunch. I think once you jump up into the 1003 and the 1404, those are 3 cylinders, where this is a twin cylinder. We got the batteries in there. Let's see what she wants to do. You know what, I actually haven't checked the oil in this at all, so I don't feel comfortable turning it over without checking the oil. This looks like the dipstick. It just stuck on there. Man, that thing was on there. Finally got it. It's got some oil in it. Looks like the filter's a little rusty. You know, everything. It's been sitting for quite a little while. But let's go ahead and turn the key on. See what we got for miles and hours. I haven't found that out yet. So you got, oh, she's got some miles on her. 8,789 miles. And it's got 1,000 hours. Control, it shows reverse. Low. There's neutral. So we're just clicking. That's what I was told about this. Go ahead and check the voltage here. I'm gonna hit that starter button here. And we do, we're close. So that's telling me that we're getting power down to that starter. The starter is not turning over. Hooked up to the starter. Let's see if we get anything. Yeah, so that tells me we're getting juice to the starter. The starter's no good. I hate to, but I'm gonna steal the starter out of this good one just to see if this thing runs. So, you know, I don't want to buy a starter if I need a lot of other parts right now. Like this, and then they can go just like that. It's gonna be a whole lot easier to get to that starter like that. The starter's in here. It's a little hard to get to. It looks like I'll pull this boot off to get to a couple of those bolts. So these things actually have an inline blower for your CVT belt and clutches to cool it down. I'm guessing because the diesel does not turn as quick, so it doesn't circulate the air as good as the gas, because I've never seen one come from the factory with a blower on it. That's pretty neat. It's a slow process in here. A little turn at a time. There's no way to get a socket in there. My ratchet wrench, the box stand on my ratchet wrench is a little too big. So 8th turn at a time. Okay, so there's only 2 bolts, but that one bolt is a pain to get to. I know I said I was gonna take the starter out of this one, but after realizing how much of a pain it is, I'm not. I'm gonna tear this one apart. Maybe we can rebuild it. Can't quite sneak it out of there, so I'm gonna have to pull this small coolant hose off here. Don't make it super easy to get that starter out. Looks like I gotta pull this housing off. On that one. Now the starter should come out of there. Yep. Alright, let's see what we're working with. Should be working on this in the garage, but my garage is full. I should be working on other machines right now, but I'm not going to sleep until I know if this thing's going to run or not with a simple starter fix. So, we're working out in the rain on the back of my truck tailgate. Definitely got some rust in there. Alright. Could have been just from the rust. Yeah, gunk in there. Clean her out of the brushes look. Seem to turn pretty good. But we'll clean them up. They've definitely been sitting in that one spot for a while. Brushes definitely worn a little bit, but I mean they would get by. That side of it's going good. So it's just we'll clean the rust out. Hopefully it should be good. We're gonna go ahead and hit the starter with 12 volts, see if we can get our spin. It's working good. Let's go throw her in. All right, we got the starter back in there after cranking that bottom bolt for probably 15-20 minutes. It's just a horrible place to get to. Go ahead and plug that back in. Hook our coolant back up. Now this, probably a little thirsty. So it should turn over now. There's still, I mean, I'm sure there still could be some issues with it. Gotta go ahead and hook our positive wire back up. So this thing could definitely still have some issues and not start, but at least it should turn over now. That starter's turning over. It should turn over the engine. Let's cross our fingers. Turn the ignition on here. This thing does have glow plugs. Oops, we're not in neutral. There's neutral. Once those glow plugs come off, we can go ahead and try to start it. Oh, she's turning over mean. Oh my God. Would you look at that? She's idled very low. I can't believe that. That's amazing. Uh-oh, throttle's stuck. Pull that back out there. It's this part that's sticky. The governor mechanism. Have to spray that with some WD. Oh, that's awesome. I was one happy guy that I got this thing for 600 bucks not running. I am ecstatic now that this thing is running. I mean, and the motor actually sounds good. First thing I'm gonna do, drop the oil, change it. So this thing has literally sat for 4 years not running because of a starter. Well, we haven't seen it drive yet, so I guess there could be other issues, but still, that engine is worth way more than the 600 bucks I paid for it. Go ahead and give her a little spray here. Loosening up. All right, let's go ahead and see if we can actually drive this thing. Transmission's another thing that we hope is good, but we'll find out. All right. Moment of truth. Does the transmission work? It does. Throttle's definitely sticky. Yeah, if I just flip the throttle, it seems to calm down, so that's good. That's high range. Let's check low range. Low range works. Perfect. And reverse. Oh, nice. That is amazing. Well, that is great. Go ahead and shut her down. So I'm noticing a couple differences between the 12 and the 08. The 08, you can see this front rack is a lot beefier than this thing. Look at the tubing versus this. And then the four-wheel drive selector right here. You got two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, and then a differential lock right here. So it's all electronic. If we go over to this one, we get the older rocker switch for two-wheel drive and four-wheel drive, and then we get a manual cable to lock your front diff. Everything's looking pretty similar. The rear rack, these come off and you can put different accessories on them, but this is a little different. You can see much beefier on this versus this. They both have the 2-inch receiver hitch. The amount of money I get into this thing, this is a great candidate to put a turbo in. I'm looking, there's definitely some room in there. Exhaust manifold's a little warm.